From Palm Beach, Florida, President Trump and Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe spoke out against North Korea tonight. Both leaders made their statements just hours after North Korea reportedly test-fired a missile. The Japanese Prime Minister called the military test absolutely intolerable. President Trump also condemned North Korea with this very brief remark.
I just want everybody to understand and fully know that the United States of America stands behind Japan, its great ally, 100%. Thank you.
Neither the president nor the Japanese prime minister took any questions after making their statements. Their joint appearance on stage lasted just over 2 minutes. Today marked North Korea's first missile test since President Trump took office. The North Korean missile landed in the Sea of Japan after traveling about 300 miles. The military test has also sparked concern in neighboring South Korea, where it prompted an emergency meeting of security officials there. Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe is in Florida this weekend discussing trade and shared security interests with the president. He's with the president at his Mar-a-Lago resort in West Palm Beach. It's become the Southern White House, and the president has spent the past 2 weekends here. Major Garrett has the latest on their meeting.
President Trump arrived at his Florida club for a golf summit with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. But wrangling over the president's immigration policies have already overshadowed the diplomatic engagement. This morning, the president tweeted that once he gets involved in negotiations, the price of a border wall between the U.S. and Mexico, quote, will come way down. Mr. Trump is also confronting resistance to his immigration ban, which is currently on hold. The president told reporters on Air Force One yesterday a new order was in the works while court battles continue.
We'll win that battle, but we also have a lot of other options, including just filing a brand new order on Monday.
The president tweeted this morning that letting in refugees from the 7 countries named in the executive order is so dangerous.
We're going to have very, very strong vetting. I call it extreme vetting, and we're going to have very strong security in our country. We are going to have people come into our country that want to be here for good reasons.
The president also said he was unaware of reports National Security Advisor Michael Flynn discussed Obama administration sanctions with Russia's ambassador before Mr. Trump was sworn into office.
I don't know about it. I haven't seen it. What report is that?
Congressional Democrats have called for revocation of Flynn's security clearance and an investigation into whether Flynn compromised U.S. foreign policy before Mr. Trump's inauguration. For the president's part, he dined Saturday with Prime Minister Abe as Japan attempts to secure its position as America's top economic and security ally in Asia. Major Garrett, Palm Beach, Florida.
Agents from Immigration and Customs Enforcement, also known as ICE, have conducted major sweeps all around the country. Officials say they have rounded up illegal immigrants who have committed crimes. Here's correspondent Carter Evans.
The people united will never be defeated.
From New York City to Los Angeles,
we are not going to tolerate the continuing attack on our families.
Activists are speaking out against immigration raids across the country. Photos from an operation in Atlanta show agents arresting alleged immigration fugitives and criminals. In Texas, video on social media showing a man being detained by an ICE agent in front of a fast food restaurant sends a chilling message, according to Austin City Council member Delia Garza.
The video I saw this morning was a man on his knees at a Whataburger. I mean, that is a very horrible optic thing for families to see, for children to see.
Agents arrested 161 immigrants in Los Angeles this week. The vast majority had criminal convictions and outstanding deportation orders, a targeted operation that is not a response to President Trump's crackdown, according to the director of the ICE office in L.A.
This operation was in the planning stations before the administration came out with their current executive orders.
First of all, they're not rounding anyone up.
On Friday, Homeland Security Secretary John Kelly tried to set the record straight at the border in San Diego.
The people that ICE apprehend are people who are illegal and then some.
Earlier this week, Secretary Kelly told Congress that under the Obama administration, immigration agents expressed frustration that they were not able to do their jobs, and morale was low.
I bet if you watch the morale issue, you'll be surprised going forward.
LA Mayor Eric Garcetti is now asking ICE for greater transparency about ongoing operations. Los Angeles is just one of many cities with police departments that have said they will not enforce federal immigration laws. Carter Evans, Los Angeles.
We're going to talk more about the immigration raids in just a minute. Professor Jessica Levinson of Loyola Law joins us now for analysis. We're going to start with the latest thing that happened tonight. Shinzo Abe, Prime Minister of Japan, and President Trump coming out making a very brief statement after the test missiles were fired tonight. What do you make of this very brief press conference and Trump's continued, I don't know, I guess the last couple of days show of support for the Prime Minister?
Embrace of the Prime Minister.
Yes.
long handshake with the Prime Minister, the handshake that went around the world. You know, it was, as you said, it was very brief. It didn't give a lot of direction. It didn't give a lot of specificity. This is going to be one of the first tests of President Trump with respect to foreign policy. And I think a lot of people have been anxious about his statements and his interactions with foreign leaders. And so I'm not sure if there will be more detailed, if there will be more specificity tomorrow, but this is certainly a big and important deal and it needs to be tackled quickly.
Going back to the executive order, we saw what the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled this past week unanimously. A three-judge panel ruled that they will not lift the stay on President Trump's executive order. Now there's talk that the president will draft a new executive order. But does this mean now he will just basically tear up and not pursue the old executive order and pursue it all the way to the Supreme Court? Will he do both, draft a new executive order and still follow through with this other one all the way to the Supreme Court?
I don't know the answer to that question, and it seems like there's conflicting reports about exactly what will happen. As you said, the current existing order is not in effect now because a district court said, let's push pause on that until we decide whether or not this is actually legal. The Ninth Circuit this week then said, we agree with you, District Court, you were right. Now there's a Ninth Circuit judge who said, you know what, I think we should have an en banc hearing. So let's now there's briefing as to whether there will be arguments in front of the Ninth Circuit. Again, a larger panel. President Trump could still go to the Supreme Court on this narrow issue. And of course, it's still being litigated on the merits in terms of whether or not it's constitutional. Does it violate due process, the Equal Protection Clause, the Establishment Clause? Separately from that, he could issue a narrower executive order that's more like his second choice. He could try and put that into effect while the original is being litigated so that there is at least something that's being put into place now, which I think is his desire. Frankly, I think that would be the wise course, is to try and narrow the current executive order.
All right, so moving on to the ICE raids, there has been major reaction from both sides of the issue. The White House says this was actually a plan that was already put in place by the Obama administration before he left office. However, President Trump did make it very clear that he was going to give priority to deporting undocumented immigrants here in the United States who have criminal records. So are we going to see more of this continuing in the very near future?
I think we are. So President Trump not only issued the executive order, the so-called Muslim ban, but he issued a separate executive order dealing with undocumented immigrants. And what he said is he changed from the Obama administration that said our priority is violent criminals. And this changed to our priority is criminals either who have been convicted, people who have been accused of a crime, or people who are seen as a threat to public safety. So it's a much broader group of people who he's telling Homeland Security and ICE, this is a group that you can go after. They've said that they have kind of admitted that this is a surge. It's, unquestionably under President Obama, we also did have deportation orders, but this is a much broader order. And I think that this is certainly in keeping with what candidate Trump and now President Trump has said, that he wants to be much more aggressive about deporting people who are not here through the legal channels.
All right, we're going to see much more happen this week, I'm sure of that. So we'll see you again, more than likely next weekend, to talk about what happens. All right, Jessica Levinson, law professor at Loyola, thank you so much for being here tonight. Dramatic storm watch news now. A daring rescue in Newhall today after two cars were trapped in a flash flood. Deputies say they saw the car going down the creek at around 3 this afternoon. Crews extended a ladder and managed to save the father and his daughter inside. And just yards away, firefighters were able to come right up to the second car that was trapped in the floodwaters and pull the driver out there. Neighbors in the area say this is the third time in the past week that a car has been swept up by that swollen creek. That incident happened on Meadview Avenue and Placeritos Boulevard. No one was hurt. Well, here's how that squall looked on the ground in Santa Clarita. Take a look at this. Drivers had to cope with rain-slicked freeways at around 2 o'clock this afternoon as that storm cell pounded the San Fernando Valley with some very heavy rains and moved slowly to the north into Santa Clarita. And this is what it looked like in the San Fernando Valley today in Northridge near the border of Porter Ranch and around lunchtime. 1 minute it was sunny, and then all of a sudden that next cell moved right through with thunder, lightning, and some heavy rain. It came on pretty quickly. And that storm is moving out of Southern California tonight, but there are some residual rains hanging around for some people. A live look out at Santa Monica tonight. Hey, the pier's pretty crowded for the weather we had. KCAL 9's Danielle Gersh joins us now to show us where the remaining rains are tonight. Danielle.
Yeah, you can see we still do have showers, mainly in the mountain areas, but you know, everyone really seeing some really light scattered showers right now. Santa Clarita saw a ton of rain today, and those of you who did see those thunderstorms develop saw a ton of rain as well. Right now, just seeing those light showers. As the sun goes down, we don't have that daytime heating that we have during the day that fuels those thunderstorms to develop. So right now, LA County into Culver City, Santa Monica, Marina Del Rey, Inglewood, seeing some light spotty showers. I think this is going to continue through the overnight hours, maybe even into tomorrow morning as well, before we start to really wind things down. Current temperature is 53 in Ontario, 54 in Fullerton, 54 in Van Nuys, 55 at LAX, and 54 in Oceanside. So here's Futurecast. As we head into the overnight hours, I think we'll continue to see the spotty showers. By tomorrow morning, things dry out, and by tomorrow afternoon, the sunshine is back. After midnight tonight, though, those winds really going to pick up. We have wind advisories and high wind warnings going into effect. We'll talk more on that in your full forecast. Elsa, back to you.
Okay, Danielle, thank you. The storm that pounded the entire state this week took its toll in several areas. Tonight, the damage is piling up, and Governor Jerry Brown has taken drastic action to get some help. That's coming up next at 9. Plus, many of Northern California's lakes have spilled over for the first time in many years of our drought here, but that is causing some big problems now of its own. And trouble ahead at the nation's tallest dam. It holds in Lake Oroville, but tonight, the primary concrete spillway is crumbling away under the force of the water. We'll see what steps they took today to ease the pressure a little bit. And here's a look at the best of LA and Orange County on KCAL9.com. It's always on.
Life is hard enough. A new Toyota makes it easy. Get $2,250 cash back on a new Camry or $3,500 back on a new 2016 Prius. Your Southern California Toyota dealers make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
Time Warner Cable is now Spectrum, redefining what a cable company can be, giving you the power to turn any night into a movie night with over 200 channels available in stunning HD and thousands of titles free on demand. All for $29.99 a month when you call 844-349-2999. Plus, get the freedom to surf, stream, post, and game from all your devices with Spectrum Internet, delivering the fastest starting speeds, 100 megabits per second, with no data caps and a free modem. Just $29.99 a month. Then, connect with family and friends near and far with unlimited nationwide calling and unlimited calling to Canada, Puerto Rico, and Mexico with no added taxes or fees. Get Spectrum Voice for just $29.99 a month when you call 844-349-2999. All with no contracts and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Get the power of Spectrum. Call 844-349-2999.
Let me introduce you to what we do here.
It's a courtroom smackdown all day long on KCAL 9.
I'll bounce you right out of here. That's how Boss Ross gets down.
They're not taking punches.
She knows I have a girlfriend. She can't have me.
You don't need to roll those lines to me.
But they will squash the nonsense.
I can't get a job.
So you got an excuse for everything.
And the signature moves keep coming.
This is a snake right here.
You're a witch. She's a witch.
Justice served all day long on KCAL 9.
When you were 8, you wanted to fly. When you were 13, to be a rock star. At 20, an artist. All these years later, you realize you had it right the first time. The 2017 Q50 from Infiniti. Lease the Q50 2-liter turbo for $319 a month or finance at 1.9% APR at your Southern California Infiniti retailer.
Governor Jerry Brown is asking President Trump to declare a major disaster here in California. The governor sent a letter to the president after the latest round of storms battered the northern part of the state. The letter says relentless storms have caused flooding, mudslides, evacuations, erosion, power outages, and at least 8 deaths. A disaster declaration would bring federal assistance to help deal with the problems caused by our storms. Northern California lakes that were nearly bone dry during the drought are now overflowing and causing a lot of damage from too much water. It's the tallest dam in the nation, and for the first time since the Oroville Dam was built nearly 50 years ago, its emergency spillway has been activated. The move comes after erosion caused major damage in the concrete of the spillway. Well, today, experts said that the extra amount of water does not pose a threat. The emergency spillway is doing exactly what it was designed to do.
It's an unusual situation for us. As far as the amount of water that's flowing over the emergency or the auxiliary spillway, it's not a lot of water. It's a relatively small spill.
The Department of Water Resources said it will continue to watch the damaged spillway just to make sure no more erosion happens. Rain has brought too much of a good thing to Santa Clara Valley's biggest reservoir. The levels are reaching near record levels at Anderson Reservoir, just east of the 101 freeway near Morgan Hill in the Santa Clara County, or in Santa Clara County. As Spencer Blake shows us, they have opened up the spigots to relieve some pressure on that dam.
That powerful sound is the roar of massive amounts of water flowing from this relatively small pipe every second.
It's unbelievable. A lot of water coming out of there.
Boy, this last storm put a lot of water in the reservoir.
Right now, the Anderson Reservoir is at 93% capacity, well over regulators' safety limit of 68%. There are seismic concerns on the 60-year-old dam that mean the Water District is trying to get as much water out as it physically can. Well, it's pretty impressive to see 416 cubic feet per second of water pass through this outflow. Remember, the inflows in the reservoir are 2,000 cubic feet per second. When next week's storm rolls around, the Water District thinks the lake will fill to capacity.
I love it. I can't wait till it comes over the spillway. It's gorgeous.
From the top of the dam, you can see how close the water level is getting to the spillway. Though there aren't real flood concerns here now, they could be coming.
When and if the water goes over the spillway, we can't control the amount of water that's going to be flowing over. So that's where you see flooding concerns.
Even still, Water District spokesman Marty Grimes isn't anticipating major issues. Some other reservoirs in the valley, like Uvas, are already spilling over. Drought-stricken Southern California tourists couldn't believe their eyes at Anderson Lake.
It looks like a lot of wasted water going down the creek, but obviously there's a purpose for a reason why they're, releasing the water.
As for those seismic concerns, remember, it would take a massive earthquake on one specific fault line during the time the reservoir is full to cause a water catastrophe. Grimes says that is highly unlikely.
Still ahead here at 9, one of the 2 main routes to Lake Tahoe remains shut down completely tonight after a massive landslide. We'll see where this happened next at 9. And some pretty powerful winds came in with this massive storm. You know what's going to happen here when you see that trucker decided to take a chance. And remember, if you see news happening, we would like to hear from you. On social media, you can share your story ideas, photos, and video by using the hashtag CBSLA.
This is our point of view. If there's an SUV,
make it one of the best in its class. Awarded a Consumer Guide Best Buy Award. This is the 279 horsepower Acura RDX. And this is how we make it.
Visit your Southern California Acura dealer for attractive offers on the RDX.
When you find something worth waiting for, we'll help you invest to protect it for the future. Financial guidance while you're mastering life. From Chase, so you can.
What has lasted 5,000 years was once almost lost. Now, the world awaits the divine culture's return.
Shen Yun, coming to 6 theaters in Greater Los Angeles, March 28th through April 30th. Buy tickets now at shenyun.com/LA. Call 800-880-0188.
It's not just a car. It's your daily retreat. Innovative technology, refined styling. That feeling you can only find in a Lexus. Go ahead, spoil yourself. The ES and ES Hybrid.
Take advantage of special President's Day offers now through the 28th on the 2017 ES350.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
A major landslide has shut down one of the main roads near the Sacramento area tonight. A large section of Highway 50 has been closed since last night. The affected area is south of Lake Tahoe from Pollock Pines to Riverton. A combination of boulders, large trees, and mud slid down the hill. All that debris blocked the highway. And in the last hour, the CHP reported Caltrans hopes to have the highway open to one-way traffic sometime tomorrow. CHP also plans on escorting vehicles through that slide zone. Well, Danielle Gersh is here with a look at our forecast. We got some rain today, but we are going to get a little bit of a break for now anyway.
Yeah, we are seeing a break for some of you. It really depends where you are. We'll see some showers through the overnight hours, but tomorrow the sun shines back. A live look from our Malibu camera, and you can see pretty clear skies out there. So overnight, all the cloud cover we had today will start to taper off, and those winds really going to start to pick up as well. So here's a live look at satellite and radar. We still have some showers coming down for the mountain areas, some spotty showers for some of you. And you could see Santa Clarita, they had a lot of rain earlier, now seeing some rain over Simi Valley into Moore Park and Camarillo. Pockets of spotty showers from Santa Monica into Inglewood, Downey, Lakewood, Torrance, Palos Verdes, and then the mountain areas, the San Bernardino County mountains, still seeing some pretty steady rainfall. That's where we're seeing the most rain right now. And I think this is where a lot of that rain will continue as we head into the overnight hours. So Futurecast, just after midnight, still seeing the on and off showers. But tomorrow morning, I think that's when we start to turn things around. By tomorrow afternoon, the sunshine is really back with us, and those winds really pick up as we head into the overnight hours as well. So this area of low pressure that actually cut off from the jet stream has just been spinning over us, and that's why we've seen the rain continue, because all that moisture is just wrapping around this area of low pressure. It'll drop south tonight. This ridge of high pressure starts to build over us as we head into tomorrow afternoon. That's going to bring us the warmer conditions, the sunshine, and those offshore Santa Ana winds. So because of that, we have high wind warnings that go into effect early in the morning, stay in effect till Tuesday afternoon, and then also these are wind advisories. So it's going to be very windy, those winds picking up after midnight. We could see gusts anywhere from 40 to 50 miles per hour until tomorrow afternoon. By Monday, things wind down. So overnight lows dropping down into the mid 40s and into the 50s. For tomorrow, 70s. So it's going to be a really nice day, just a windy one, but much warmer out there with temperatures in the 70s and a lot more sunshine for you. Coming up, a full look at your extended forecast. Elsa, back to you.
All right, Danielle, thank you. It may be tough to get into the Sierra by vehicle this weekend because of all the heavy snow and the landslides, but once you get to the slopes, it is all worth it with near record snow on the ground, more than 30 feet deep in some places. That's next at 9. And later tonight, the man lived a hard and abusive life, and that's how his family wants to remember him. in his brutal obituary.
Fresh from the uniquely LA intersection of seafood and street food, El Pollo Loco's Baja Shrimp menu. Delicious shrimp marinated in chipotle chilies and garlic and served all your favorite ways. This season's offering from El Pollo Loco. Now order online.
A timeless world-class buffet with everything to satisfy your cravings. You know you have the best hand at poker and you can't keep it bottled up inside. Celebrate at the T&T Bar. Good drink, good food, good friends, good times. At this moment, you wish time stood still. Morongo. Good times anytime, good times all the time.
Step on the tee with Rory.
How good was that?
Read the breaks with Tiger.
How about that par?
Play in the sand with Bubba.
Victory again.
Share the day with the world's best at the Riviera Country Club. It's time to think outside the stadium.
Welcome to the Genesis Open.
Experience the next chapter of golf at Riviera.
A new garage door from Mesa can be yours for as low as $6.99. But wait, call right now and I'll knock off another $200 and doors start as low as $4.99. I'll even include the installation, sales tax, and bottom seal free. But wait, there's more. For the next 11 callers, I'll upgrade you to our world-exclusive Silent Glide door system. It's 60% quieter than other systems. That's a $1,500 value, all for only $4.99. Call 888-581-MESA.
Introducing the $3 add-on menu. Add 2 large sides, chips and guac, or an entree salad to any family meal of our fire grilled chicken for just $3. Get your El Pollo Loco $3 add-on today. Now order online.
All of that snow that's fallen in our local mountains is such good news for skiers and snowboarders. Mammoth Mountain is already predicting it will stay open until the July 4th holiday. The resort has accumulated more than 35 feet of snow at the main lodge, and more snow is predicted for later this month. The last time the resort stayed open so late was back in 2011, when it got a total of 56 feet of snow. Police moved in quickly and arrested a suspected terrorist, and when they raided an apartment in the south of France, they may have broken up another terrorist attack in the making. We'll have the details next at 9. And how are Americans living and working in Mexico being treated amid the controversy surrounding President Trump's plans for a border wall? We'll talk to some of those people in our next segment. And another weekend of protests nationwide today, with both sides of the battle over abortion and Planned Parenthood hitting the streets from D.C. to L.A. Those stories, sports, and weather when Peter Dowd takes over the next half hour of KCAL 9 News.
Hydrogen-fueled Mirai. Its only emission is water. Toyota, let's go places.
Let the games begin. Experience the power, the passion, and the pageantry of medieval times. Tickets starting at just $29.95. Visit medievaltimes.com.
When you first hear the words "you have cancer," I understand how overwhelming that news can be. But that's where I come in. I'm going to be here to answer the questions that come to you in the middle of the night, to hold your hand during your treatments, and to give you beautiful balloons to celebrate your last chemo. I'm going to be with you every step of the way. I'm Joanne, and I'm your oncology nurse at Cedars-Sinai.
Wiener Schnitzel pastrami. Wiener Schnitzel pastrami. Wiener Schnitzel pastrami. Come get some for your mommy.
Party with your mouth with Wiener Schnitzel pastrami 3 different ways. On fries, on a dog, or a sandwich. Only at Wiener Schnitzel.
Once I was a rich man.
It's more than twice the price of the Playboy Mansion. A home many could love, but only few can afford. Come inside the most expensive home in America. Sunday on CBS 2 News after the Grammys.
The Kia President's Day sales event is here, and we're keeping presidents in your pocket with great deals on select quality vehicles like the Kia Soul and Sportage, both ranked highest in their segments in initial quality by J.D. Power, and the stylish, technologically advanced Kia Optima, all with the confidence of our 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Get one of these monumental deals today, only at the Kia President's Day sales event. Right now, lease the 2017 Forte LX for only $139 a month or get 0% financing plus $1,500 bonus cash.
Aerial coverage from Sky 9 is brought to you by Stater Brothers, your hometown supermarket. Brands you know from folks you know. Stater Brothers, serving Southern California families for over 80 years. Support your home team. Stater Brothers, where you always get more for less.
Live from the Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, this is KCAL 9 News at 9.
Welcome back. I'm Peter Dowd. President Trump says he will continue to stand by his travel ban after an appeals court voted to not reinstate it. But if he doesn't go through the courts, there could be other options to keep it up. Paula Reed shows us how.
My administration is committed to your security, which is why we will continue to fight to take all necessary and legal action to keep terrorists, radical and dangerous extremists from ever entering our country.
In his weekly address, President Trump vowed to keep the travel ban alive.
We will not allow our generous system of immigration to be turned against us as a tool for terrorism and truly bad people. We must take firm steps today to ensure that we are safe tomorrow.
The president could impose extreme vetting or tougher screening procedures through a new executive order that does not impose a blanket ban. Washington State Attorney General Bob Ferguson heads his state's fight against the president's executive order. Ferguson managed to get a judge to halt the president's travel ban.
This TRO is granted.
And then convinced an appeals court to keep the hold in place.
The president does have a choice. He can continue to fight this, or he can tear up this executive order and start over. I would strongly encourage him to consider the latter course of action.
The president argues his temporary ban was necessary while federal officials review current procedures for vetting refugees and immigrants. If Mr. Trump continues to defend his temporary ban, he faces a lengthy court battle.
Whatever they do, I've made it clear we're in this for the long haul, in whichever direction they choose to go.
Late Friday, the federal appeals court overseeing the Washington case said it may take another look at Thursday's ruling by 3 judges to keep the travel ban on hold. Then it will be several weeks, possibly even months, before the courts make a final determination about whether the president's policy is legal. Paula Reed, Washington.
President Trump tackled the topic of the border wall in his morning tweets this weekend. I am reading that the Great Border Wall will cost more than the government originally thought, but I have not gotten involved in the design or negotiations yet. When I do, just like with the F-35 fighter jet or the Air Force One program, price will come down, way down. Massive anti-Trump demonstrations are expected across Mexico tomorrow, but are these rising tensions having a negative effect on American expats living in Mexico? Shasta Darlington spoke with an American business owner about his experience.
In the heart of Mexico City, Mexicans and Americans are bonding over beer, barbecue, and football. American football. Many patrons here say the escalating political feud so far hasn't sparked major anti-American sentiment.
Are you facing any backlash?
I personally haven't dealt with anything. I've been here for close to 5 years now and only been treated really, really nicely.
But this attorney says there are signs of tension, albeit small ones.
People are getting a little more angry. I was at a karaoke bar and people literally said, we don't want to sing songs in English anymore.
At the Pinche Gringo, or Darn Gringo restaurant, American co-owner Dan DeFosi says they try to diffuse those tensions.
And so we are able to operate with a bit of humility, because we're not the gringo, we don't think we're better or we have a better restaurant than anybody. We're the Pinche Gringos.
He and his Mexican business partner, Roberto Luna, serve up Texas-style barbecue to an international crowd. And while anger at Trump has prompted boycotts of some major American brands, they say it hasn't fueled hostility towards them.
Where I don't believe that people automatically associate me with the policies that are happening with my government. And I think there's a real appreciation for the fact that we love this country.
Roberto says they celebrate both cultures. Mexican chefs slow cooking local beef to produce authentic American flavors.
And I don't think it's anti-American. No, we need to be pro-Mexicans, and pro-Americans and pro-everything.
Super Bowl Sunday was sold out. More than half the clients Mexican.
I can have a good relationship with an American person or with a Russian person, and it's about people, not governments.
And while big anti-Trump protests are expected on Sunday, at this restaurant they hope to keep bringing everyone together at the same table. Shasta Darlington, Mexico City.
CBS News has uncovered new information involving possibly illegal contact between National Security Advisor Michael Flynn and a Russian ambassador. Investigators tell the network the retired general discussed U.S. sanctions with Ambassador Sergei Kislyak in December before Flynn was sworn in. Intelligence agencies learned this through ongoing electronic surveillance. The Washington Post has reported Flynn told the ambassador that President Trump would ease the sanctions once in office. By law, private citizens cannot negotiate with foreign governments. Flynn has said he does not remember the specifics of that conversation. Police in France say they have thwarted an imminent terror attack. A source says 4 suspects, all of whom are French nationals, appear to have been inspired by ISIS. Aaron McLaughlin gained exclusive access to one of the suspects' apartments and spoke to his roommate.
This is the aftermath of an early morning raid. French police say their work here prevented an imminent suicide attack. For Mohamed Majodi, this is what's left of his home.
I'm seeing this for the first time. I didn't get home before because I went to the police. I was scared they would think I was an accomplice.
Neighbors say the police arrived at 6 in the morning and blew down the front door. They arrested the suspect and then started to search for evidence, completely turning the place inside out. But the tenant says the suspect only had 2 suitcases. He'd only been here for a few days. Majodi met the 20-year-old through the local mosque. He needed a place to stay, and Majodi had a place to spare.
I knew he was in a tough situation, and I just wanted to help.
Majodi says the man kept to himself, except for his teenage companion, believed to be his fiancée, who visited every so often. She's also under arrest. Investigators believe she planned to join ISIS in Syria just before the planned attack. Now, his neighbors are furious. How could he allow a suspected terrorist to live among them? But Majodi says he had no idea. He's still in shock. You've seen the attack that happened last year in Nice, the Paris attacks. Did you ever think that something like that could happen here?
It can happen anywhere. It's sad, but it's just like that. Now, if I see someone in a tough situation, I will just let him be, because we don't know anymore who is the person in front of us.
Aaron McLaughlin, Montpellier.
Anti-abortion activists staged rallies across the country today calling on the federal government to cut off funding to Planned Parenthood. As Tony Ducupil shows us, in many cities they were confronted by pro-choice demonstrators.
Two sides of an old battle came face to face in Washington today, with dueling rallies in support of Roe v. Wade is here to stay and opposition to a woman's right to abortion. The standoff was part of a national day of protest, including hundreds of anti-abortion rallies across dozens of states. We will help them. The show of force was organized by a coalition of cooperating abortion rights opponents with the goal of taking down a shared foe, Planned Parenthood, America's largest single provider of abortions.
Life is winning again in America.
Vice President Mike Pence and a legion of voters opposed to abortion rights have long tried to strip the group of federal funding.
I would defund it because of the abortion factor, which...
Now they feel their moment has finally arrived. As a candidate, President Trump promised to advance the rights of unborn children by, among other means, defunding Planned Parenthood. But backers of Planned Parenthood have rallied as well. Dozens of counter-protests popped up today, and the group got star-studded support at last month's Women's March.
For
millions of Americans, Planned Parenthood is often the only trustworthy and affordable clinic.
While Planned Parenthood gets more than 40% of its budget from federal reimbursements, none of that money directly funds abortions under federal law. Today's demonstrators still want it gone.
Still ahead here at 9, those winds have been howling from the massive winter storm that pushed through SoCal and the West the past few days. And in the wide open spaces, there is nowhere to hide. A couple of highway patrol officers found out on the side of the freeway. We're going to show you how this one ended in just a few minutes here at 9. Danielle.
And as our showers wind down overnight, winds picking up. Your forecast up next.
Plus, could the USC Trojans survive a tough test against 5th-ranked Oregon? Jill Arrington with the highlights from the Galen Center next in sports.
We didn't run an ad in the big game this year. We watched everyone else's and donated money to Boys and Girls Clubs for every ad that had a cliche, like a baby, an explosion, a celebrity, and a bunch more. That day, we helped donate over $300,000, and we can help you too with a great deal on an award-winning Honda. Right now, you can lease the 2017 Civic LX for just $179 a month plus tax, and the Civic is the best-selling car in California.
Over 40 years ago, Russ Brown set out on a mission to help injured riders. We fight for the rights of riders every day because we are riders and we know what you're going through. If you're injured in a motorcycle accident, don't fight the insurance companies with just any lawyer.
Call 1-800-4BIKERS.
These guys will have your back. If you go down, call Russ Brown,
Motorcycle Attorney.
Who's this?
Zelda.
Allow me.
Well, that's what happens when you have a league of your own.
You look incredible.
How are we gonna celebrate? On the rocks or on the bed? I say both.
The Sports Report on KCAL 9 is sponsored by your Southern California Toyota dealers.
Welcome back. We start sports at the Galen Center, where the 21-4 Trojans faced a big test against number 5 Oregon. Now, USC lost to the Ducks by 23 up in Eugene back in December, but they found their rhythm as of late. Winners of their last 5 in a row coming into tonight's game. The Trojans coming off a 26-point blowout of the Beavers. But tonight wasn't as easy. USC battling back from an 11-point hole, and in the second, Jordan McLaughlin puts it up from midcourt to Elijah Stewart for that huge alley-oop. Trojans down 4. Well, the men of Troy briefly led before the Ducks went on a run. USC turning it over. Peyton Pritchard takes advantage. Oregon leads 61-54, but USC wasn't out of it. Under 3 minutes to play. Benny Boatwright finds Stewart for the triple. The Trojans down just 3. Then less than 2 minutes left, Oregon looking to put it away. Tyler Dorsey in transition drains that 3 for the dagger. And the Ducks win 81-70. And now to the NBA, Blake Griffin and the Clippers in Charlotte today. The Clippers started slow but tied it up at 22 when Griffin throws down this monster slam. Take another look. He posterizes Miles Plumlee and gets the foul. Well, it remained a close game in the fourth quarter. Clippers up 3. Jamal Crawford banks in the huge 3. He had 22 off the bench, and later in the fourth, the Hornets were still hanging around. But Austin Rivers steps back and hits the triple. That gives the Clippers an 8-point lead. But Charlotte cut it to 3 with under a minute to go. Rivers misses, but there's Griffin for the putback dunk. He was 2 assists shy of a triple-double in the 107-102 win.
I got stops down here, made some tough plays down in the offensive end, but we turned it up defensively, and that's what made it the game.
And Kevin Durant making his first trip back to Oklahoma City as a Warrior. Thunder fans rained down the boos and let him have it with their signs. OKC had the early lead as Russell Westbrook has KD one-on-one here, but he passes to Steven Adams for the bucket. Westbrook had 47 points, but this game belonged to Durant's new squad as KD led the way for Golden State, 34 points in the 130-114 win. And he and Westbrook clearly not friends as they jawed on the court. And to the PGA Tour for the third round of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Amateur mainstay Bill Murray was having a great time. His second shot on the par 3 7th hole, the Caddyshack star drains the birdie putt, and he throws his putter in excitement. Justin Timberlake also had some impressive shots after a near hole-in-one on number 7 and chipping in for birdie on 16. He chips in again on 17 and this time to save par. And to the pros, Jordan Spieth started the round tied for first at 10 under. Here on 11, his approach shot right on target. Oh, setting up his third straight birdie. After a 65 today, Spieth is at 17 under, leading by 6 shots heading into the final round. And we'll have a live report from the Galen Center with reaction to the Trojans-Ducks game a little later on Sports Central.
All right, Jill, thanks so much. You know, Danielle, we went from the rain to the wind.
I know. Now those winds really going to pick up. But I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are going to be great. That's when the winds die down, the sun shines back, we have nice warm temperatures. It will be in the upper 70s on Wednesday.
Nice.
Not there yet, though. Overnight tonight, things are clearing up. This is a live look from our Malibu camera. It's a pretty nice night. Some of us still seeing some light showers, but a lot of that heavy rain we saw this afternoon starting to wind down. A live look at satellite and radar. Ventura County seeing some heavy rain right now, but for the most part, we're just seeing scattered showers over the mountains and the LA basin. Zooming in, you can see Thousand Oaks, Westlake Village, into Simi Valley and Moore Park, seeing some heavy rain right now. The LA basin into Torrance, South Bay, into Downey, seeing some scattered light showers. And then the mountain areas, the San Bernardino County mountains, they've been seeing the rain pretty much all night long. As we head into the overnight hours, I think these light showers continue. They could even linger into early tomorrow morning, but by tomorrow afternoon, things are clearing out nicely and the sunshine is back. So this cutoff low that's been bringing us all of the rain will dip south tomorrow, and that's going to allow this ridge of high pressure to start to build over us. So that means the warm temperatures return, sunshine's back, and it's going to bring with it those offshore winds. So we have a bit of a Santa Ana wind event as we head into the next couple of days because of that high wind warnings in effect for the mountain areas. That's where winds could gust up to 60 miles per hour. And then we also have wind advisories in effect for much of the area. So it's going to be a really windy day after midnight tonight into tomorrow. So as 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, those winds gusting anywhere from 40 to 50 miles per hour through Ventura County into Santa Clarita, even towards the coast. So Malibu going to be windy. The canyon's going to be very windy tomorrow through tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow evening into Monday, the winds finally start to wind down. Overnight low temperatures dropping down into the mid 40s. So as we see the skies clearing, that's when we start to see those cooler overnight temperatures, and that's what we're going to experience as we head into the next couple of days. For tomorrow, temperatures climbing into the 70s, 70 in Westlake Village, 70 in Hawthorne, 74 in Bell along the coast, even Long Beach at 74 degrees. Newport Beach and Dana Point in the mid to upper 60s, 71 in Laguna, 70 in Fontana, 74 in Rancho Mirage, and 67 degrees in Hemet. Here's your extended forecast for tomorrow. A nice day on the way, but a windy one. Monday, the sunshine's still with us. Temperatures in the low to mid 70s, not as windy. For your Valentine's Day, upper 60s into the low 70s. Look at Wednesday, temperatures climbing into the upper 70s. Some spots going to be close to 80 degrees. Then cooler Thursday, partly cloudy skies. Friday into Saturday, that's when we are tracking our next storm system to move in. So most of the week is dry until next weekend. Peter.
All right, Danielle, thanks. It was not the usual flowery pose written after a long and full life. This man's obituary was written by someone who knew him well, and she did not mince words in this brutal obit. That's next at 9.
The Sports Report on KCAL 9 was sponsored by your Southern California Toyota dealers.
Paul Williams didn't let racism stop him from becoming one of the nation's most renowned architects. He designed thousands of homes and famous properties from Beverly Hills to LAX. His work has a lasting impact on the LA landscape.
You're
year making money and then didn't bother to pay $1 of it back.
Next, People's Court.
Monday at 5 on KCAL 9.
X. X is that unknown factor. X is provocative. X is where you find the shiny stuff. X is love, and lust, and power, and pomp. This is the X side of infinity.
Lease the Infiniti QX60 for $409 a month.
Or finance at 1.9% APR at your Southern California Infiniti retailer.
A new garage door from Mesa can be yours for as low as $699. But wait, call right now and I'll knock off another $200 and doors start as low as $499. I'll even include the installation, sales tax, and bottom seal free. But wait, there's more. For the next 11 callers, I'll upgrade you to our world-exclusive Silent Glide door system. It's 60% quieter than other systems. That's a $1,500 value, all for only $499. Call 888-581-MESA.
It's okay to cry, right? No more! We don't want any more!
Keep calm. The price you see is the price you pay. AT&T Internet. Everyday price and no extra monthly fees, unlike cable. Speeds up to 45 megs for $30 a month.
Outside the Roosevelt, in the shadows of Washington Peak, at the Polk Trailhead, or wading through the Madison River. Flex your freedom the way all of our great presidents intended at the Jeep President's Day event. Hurry in for great deals. Right now, get $5,000 total cash allowance on the 2017 Jeep Cherokee.
Aggressive winds in Wyoming gusting at 70 miles an hour caused this 18-wheeler to topple over. You can see how the big rig falls right on top of that police car. Ouch, but luckily no one was inside and no one was hurt. A story that is drawing a lot of attention. It's about a woman who wrote a brutally honest obituary about her father. Pooja Lahudi spoke with the woman about why she wrote an obituary that is bringing her praise and scathing criticism.
The obituary was so popular, it actually crashed the funeral home's website. The daughter says she has no regrets.
Leslie Ray Popeye Charping was born in Galveston, Texas on November 20th, 1942, and passed away June 30th of 2017.
It starts out like most obituaries,
which was 29 years longer than expected and much longer than he deserved.
But quickly takes a turn.
I told the truth. I'm not sorry for telling the truth, and I'm not sorry for standing up for myself.
Leslie wasn't a good man. He served time in prison and was, by several accounts, both physically and verbally abusive. His daughter Sheila says she couldn't bear to lie about it.
For someone that knew him and family members that knew him to read that obituary and to see something on there that was a complete lie would have been an insult to everyone that he did bad things to, and there were a lot of them. I couldn't write that in good conscience.
The obituary has gone viral, getting so much attention. Sheila says supervisors at work have asked her not to respond. That's why we're hiding her face, but not her words.
When you don't talk about it and you don't acknowledge that a problem even exists, it just grows. And it's not going to stop until people say, this is the problem, and they talk about it. No services will be held. There will be no prayers for eternal peace and no apologies to the family that he tortured. Leslie's remains will be cremated and kept in the barn until Ray, the family donkey's wood shavings, run out.
In case you were wondering, yes, Sheila is paying for her father's cremation. And no, Leslie didn't have insurance.
Leslie Ray Charping died of cancer last month at the age of 74. His daughter Sheila Smith says she has received thousands of positive and negative reactions to the brutal obituary. Well, the search is on for at least 2 armed robbers who hit a marijuana factory in Chatsworth and shot one of the employees. It happened around 3:20 this morning on Nordhoff Street. Investigators say the suspects detained a security guard and popped open the back door to the factory. Officers found thousands of marijuana plants and are searching the area for more clues. Neighbors also say this is not the first time something like this has happened here. The man shot was taken to a local hospital and is expected to recover soon. Almost every kid has had a bobblehead or two in their lifetime, and you probably have one in your house somewhere, right? Coming up, we'll meet a man who has them all over his house, stacked up to the ceiling. His bobblehead Bob, next at 9.
Across the Inland Empire, the people of Dignity Health share a belief. From St. Bernardine Medical Center to Dignity Health Urgent Care Fontana and Highland, Community Hospital of San Bernardino, and Dignity Health Medical Group. We believe medicine can cure, but human kindness heals. Dignity Health. Hello, human kindness.
Time Warner Cable is now Spectrum, redefining what a cable company can be, giving you the power to turn any night into a movie night with over 200 channels available in stunning HD and thousands of titles free on demand. All for $29.99 a month when you call 844-349-2999. Plus, get the freedom to surf, stream, post, and game from all your devices with Spectrum Internet, delivering the fastest starting speeds, 100 megabits per second, with no data caps and a free modem. Just $29.99 a month. Then, connect with family and friends near and far with unlimited nationwide calling and unlimited calling to Canada, Puerto Rico, and Mexico with no added taxes or fees. Get Spectrum Voice for just $29.99 a month when you call 844-349-2999. All with no contracts and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Get the power of Spectrum. Call 844-349-2999.
You could be this guy, able to carry everything in one trip because he uses his feet to open the hands-free sliding door and liftgate on his all-new Chrysler Pacifica. Or you could be that guy whose team had to forfeit because he was late bringing the equipment. Get your all-new Chrysler Pacifica at the President's Day event. Current owners of Honda, Toyota, Volkswagen, or Kia vehicles get $3,000 total cash allowance on the purchase of the 2017 Pacifica.
A Cleveland man is making a big donation to the Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum. He's known as Bobblehead Bob. The 57-year-old has been collecting the toys since the 90s. At last count, he had more than 1,500, but now he is passing them on to the museum due to failing health. He knows he could probably get some big bucks for the rarest ones, but wants many people to enjoy them.
I don't want them in somebody's man cave or sold for a quarter a piece or whatever. I can't take it with me.
That's right. He's been preparing for weeks to send his beloved collection to the museum, and he realized he had about 100 duplicates. A spokesman for the museum says it's the largest donation ever, and they are very excited to get it. I didn't even know there was a bobblehead museum. Next at 10, dangerous water rescues as water and mud flow after another round of rain. Is there more on the way? Plus, one-on-one with the one and only Sting. We talk about his family and new projects. Those stories and more when Elsa Ramon joins me next for KCAL 9 News at 10.
This President's Day, get to Nissan now. Save big on intelligent safety features. It's clear why we're America's fastest growing auto brand. Take on the everyday. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 11 models.
Be part of the action at the Circle K NHRA Winter Nationals this weekend at Auto Club Raceway at Pomona. Kids 12 and under are free. Get tickets early and save at nhra.com/tickets.
We created jobs, we raised the minimum wage, and we cut our city's business taxes and passed a tax credit, bringing film jobs back to LA. Together, we've made progress. Together, we can make a lot more.
Eric Garcetti for mayor on March 7th.
It's Truck Month. So long live the trucks with the strength of a 6.4-liter Hemi V8 and class-exclusive air suspension to tackle any terrain. They have the power to warm one's heart. Ram Truck Month is the only place to get America's longest-lasting pickups.
For California residents, lessees of competitive vehicles get a low-mileage lease on the 2017 Ram 1500 for $169 a month.
Ultimate asks, what does it take to grow healthy? It takes work and dedication, a constant commitment. It takes knowing your roots so you can flourish right here where you're planted.
It takes time, taking steps that seem too small to matter, too tiny to make a difference, until they do. We know what it takes, and we're here to help you grow healthy. Ultimed, your community health network.
You know why I love The Feud?
Steve Harvey, 2016 for president!
Yes, Lord! Yeah! Because I love watching this. Name something Grandma might store under her boobs.
Her teeth!
Come on, Grandma, time for dinner.
Weeknights at 6 and 6:30 on KCAL 9.
This President's Day, get to Nissan now. Save big on intelligent safety features. It's clear why we're America's fastest growing auto brand. Take on the everyday. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 11 models.